This is Duncan Turner from the Vagina Doctor podcast. Welcome to the Consult With Me segment where we take a deeper look into our most frequently asked questions. But what do I know? I'm just a vagina doctor. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. So the full body DXA is another thing we've really added to patient care in the office.
Yeah.
And I want you to go into that. You yourself had one just recently, and I looked at that report and I found it fascinating. So I want you to go over full body DXA today.
Okay. So a lot of people have heard about DXA studies, which is an X-ray looking at bone strength or actually bone density. And so it's a routine exam for women over 50 and for men a little later, just to looking at bone strength. But what we can do with a full body DXA is evaluate not only their bones, but their muscle mass and their amount of fat tissue and put it into percentages of body weight. It's very, very illuminating to be able to do that because particularly, we're always concerned about people being overweight and unhealthy and so on. It's not bad for people to have a little bit of extra weight, but if that is subcutaneous and they're just looking a little plump now, that's not a problem. But if it is to the extent that they're increasing the intra-abdominal fat, the fat that's around the organs in the abdomen, that has been seen as being a more dangerous type of fat, which increases the risk of atherosclerotic disease. And so it's really intriguing. And it also can be associated with what we call non-alcoholic liver. Sorry, let's get
fatty liver.
Yeah,
is that what it is?
That's
yeah.
What I'm going to have to cut this. That's also been associated with a non-alcoholic fatty liver syndrome, and that's frequently undiagnosed, but people are getting sick and dangerously ill from it. And so there needs to be really more stress on weight loss for those patients, and should be monitored that way rather than just looking at it in terms of their weight and how they look, but generally their health.
Yeah, I know we've added it to the weight management program.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really good idea because I like the chart and it really shows where this fat is.
Yeah.
And I think it will motivate our weight loss patients.
Right. And we've actually always been measuring total body fat in our Tanata scale for our weight management patients. And patients don't like to hear how many pounds of fat they have. And it's not just the body mass index, the BMI, anymore that we're looking at. It's this visceral fat that's really of significance and needs to be addressed. Yeah,
I'm happy we've added it to the tests we're doing, and I think patients are really going to like this information, having it.
The other really interesting thing about it is it picks up or it measures muscle mass, and there is definitely an association between muscle mass and all-cause mortality. In other words, the less muscle you have, the more in danger you are of dying, and of many reasons. And so it's very common that somebody who's overweight has actually a lot of muscle mass because they need the muscle to carry around their extra weight. So it's very, and if those patients are going to lose weight because they have visceral fat and we'd want to put them on a diet, we have to make sure they stay exercising, they have a protein-heavy diet to keep their muscle mass from diminishing as well. Because a lot of times if people lose weight, they lose muscle mass as well,
right?
Which is not a good thing.
Yeah. I better go lift some weights and do some squats.
I think we measure it first, okay?
No, I do a fair amount of all that. So
yeah, you do. But I think it would be really interesting for you to have a full body DXA.
I know. I need to add it to the list.
Yeah.
That and the gallery testing.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And full body MRI.
Yeah. Recently we're talking about medicine 3.0.
Yeah.
And those things are very much part of looking at the body in 3.0 as the DXA and other ways of evaluating the strength of the body.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for listening. And if you have more questions, please let us know either by email or DM us on the Vagina Doctor podcast.
See you in the next episode. The Vagina Doctor podcast. It all starts here.